We've been doing a couple practices. On the first week, we talked about the upper part of the nervous system, the ventral vagal, where we feel, this place of well-being and homeostasis, and this place in our nervous system where the nerves come off the upper part of the neck, behind the ears and the chest. And I can hear your kitty, Julia. He just gave a meow. Good morning, Anne. And so then we moved in last week on doing a practice a little bit more for the sympathetic nervous system, where we focused a little bit more on the nerves, right? Coming off the thoracic spine a little bit into the lumbar. And we went over the Brahmari breath, that B breath again. And I brought in a different breath. And do you guys remember that one? It was 2 quick inhales and then a long exhale out the mouth. So that one was for when you find yourself in a little bit more of a stress response or anxiety, or you notice that the sympathetic nervous system has gone into hyperarousal. You can kind of harness that energy and blow it out. Did anyone remember to try? Did you? And how did you feel? Yeah. Great. Love that. Okay, so I love that instinctively. I'll share that on the recording, a sharing of, a stress response and noticing, right? I'm in a stress response, right? And that's when we can catch, right? The minute we notice I am in a stress response, then we can kind of pick a tool, right? And sometimes they come intuitively, or sometimes we're like, let's try something. And then there was that awareness of using the 2 inhales and then the exhale out the mouth, and that visualization of letting go on the exhale. So let's just start with that breath. So you can be lying down, you can be seated, and let's just feel that for a moment, those 2 inhales. Let it purse lip out the mouth. You might even do that another 1 or 2 more times, or just the purse lip if you feel that that's working with you. And just see if there's anything you want to let go of. And see if one more. And then check in with yourself. Do you want to do another purse lip breath a couple times? Do you want to sigh out the mouth with an exhale? Do you want to do another one of those breaths, 2 in the nose, out the mouth? So just giving some space here for you to explore. So when the nervous system has been in sympathetic, it could be for a period of time, or if the nervous system has been patterned when a certain event happens and we go into hyperarousal of the sympathetic, sometimes the nervous system starts to shut down on us. Right? And we go into the lower part of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is called the dorsal vagal. And the dorsal vagal, the nerves are off in the abdomen, the digestive system, and its everyday function is to balance and run your digestive system. So when you go into shutdown, sometimes we have things that happen to our digestive system. So either we might get irritable bowel syndrome, or we might go on the other side and get constipation that will happen, a holding in the abdomen. And we each have different patterns that we go through. And so today we're going to do some practices to notice, okay, there's times when we go into this dorsal vagal that we need to have time to rest, right? It's important that we give that space for the body and the nervous system to rest, but then it's also important to notice that we're not stuck there. Okay, a resilient nervous system means that you can pass into the stages of the nervous system, but then eventually come back into the ventral vagal nervous system. which is where we feel well-being and balance, right? So that's what it means to be resilient. It's not about never going into the other stages of the nervous system. It's about going into them, but being able to have the tools and the capacity to then come back out and feel regulated. Okay. And so I always, when I first heard that from my teacher, it really stopped me for a moment. And I thought, oh, okay. Because sometimes we get stuck, right? And we get stuck in different patterns of our nervous system. And I was reading a little study the other day before we lie down, and I give a couple options about how our mind is kind of programmed and easier to go into a negative bias around things. So we can hear four things that are positive and one thing that is negative, and we'll revel on the negative part of something instead of resting in the positives that we heard, right? And so it is a patterning of the mind and the nervous system to do this. So if we know that, then we can say, okay, I know that. And a way to come out of it is actually, and when they've done studies, is to use gratitude to help bring ourselves to a place of noticing, right, the positives that are happening. So, wanting to have that invitation as we end up lying down in a moment of, I'm going to give you an invitation of thinking about, is there one thing that you're grateful for? Maybe two, maybe three. And sometimes what I'll do at the end of the night before I go to bed is I'll think of, what was I grateful for today? And I'll ask myself that question. What was something that I was grateful for? And then just allow it to come. And it might even be just getting outside or being in nature or hanging out with a friend or getting to a class, or right. And all of these things that when we're in this system of shutdown is we need to create movement. Okay? And that's how we move out of it, is we need to create movement to go back up to the ventral. So if you think of it as like a ladder, the dorsal's at the bottom of the ladder. And to get out of dorsal, we got to climb up, and we got to use the sympathetic to get out. So it might be listening to a piece of music. It might be calling a friend. It might be coming to a class where you feel safe. Right? Might be just going for a walk around your block. Right? So all of those things bring you back up so that you can get into regulation. So I wanted to offer a couple things to start. So some of us have just been lying on our back, putting the bolster underneath the knees and the back of the thighs and lying in the back body. The other option that we did in the first week was we went into heart bed. And some of us were taking that block and putting the bolster on a slant, okay, and then sitting really close to the bolster, chin towards the throat, lying back, and then checking in, does my pelvis need to lift up a little bit, and do I need a little bit of support under the hips to minimize that lower back curve? I also want to bring in one other one today. Sometimes it's lying on the side or the belly, and you might be finding it comfortable to lie on the side body. So I'm just on my left side. I'm taking the bolster and hugging it really close to my hips, and then just lifting up on the left side of the body. And then I like to take my glasses off for this one. And then lying down, you might find that you just kind of curl in, and it's a little bit of a lengthened restorative twist. Sometimes the top leg wants to lengthen. Sometimes you want to curl up. Okay, so I'm just giving you a couple options here to see what resonates with you. Good, yeah, beautiful. And let me know if you need anything. Yes, Marina, did you get? No, you're in front of it. Yeah. So you're just in front of it and you're just meeting it with the body. And you might have a little bit of space depending on how long your torso is. But then you just want to lift and lengthen and then find it. And then it's about deciding. I've got both of my arms up on either side of the bolster, but it depends on how to find like what feels good for your shoulder. Yeah, and glasses are usually nice to have off. So you've got to figure out what's good for my shoulder. There you go, down. Most definitely. Yes. Okay. You've got a sore neck. Have you ever used a semi-inflated slow-mo ball underneath your neck? Okay, it's so sore. How about lying flat, putting the chip foam block under the head? Mm-hmm. And then having this, maybe, yeah. Yeah, the one other way, oh, okay, you're going to be on the belly. That works too. No, that's okay. But one thing you can do is if you are on the belly, you can put your forehead on the block as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you another option. This is what's coming in. Lying. Okay, I'm going to give you this bolster and you're going to do it with me. Okay, so you're going to lie on top and then you're going to take this block and see if your forehead wants to go on that block. Yeah, and even pull it up a little bit towards, there you go. Your nose is going to be in between the bolster and the block. So pull the block up towards the top of your mat a little bit. There you go. How's that feeling? It lengthens the back of the neck and helps to release the neck muscles. Mm-hmm. Do you feel it widening your sacrum as well? Yeah, and you can wiggle a little bit here. There you go. Okay. Good. So we're just going to take a few deep breaths here as we inhale through the nose and we exhale out the mouth. We inhale through the nose and we exhale out the mouth. And I just want to let you know that I have locked the door so that we are in a safe container together. So those of you joining us online, noticing the container that you're creating for self today. Just take a moment to feel the breath. So sometimes when we go into sympathetic and this hyper arousal of sympathetic, or we go into shutdown, we go into holding the diaphragm. And so one of the things we need to do is try to mobilize the diaphragm. And so you might even notice, oh, my arms want to be, some of us have it curled around the bolster, some of us have our palms turned up. But feel that space in the lungs, if you find your heart center, and then you travel down below the heart through the lungs, and then just in that space where the ribs come apart, it's above the belly button. And this is where your diaphragm lives, underneath this lower part of the rib cage. And on an exhale, it domes upward. So when we inhale, the diaphragm flattens down, almost like a pancake shape towards the belly button. And it pushes on the digestive organs. And this is what is helping massage all of the nerves in the dorsal vagal part of the nervous system and our digestive system. Belly expands. And as we exhale, the diaphragm relaxes back up into that upward dome shape and the belly deflates. We're just going to be here for another minute. But if you need to turn sides sooner, always feel free to do that for those of you that are on one side. Notice if your eyes want to close or they just want to soften and stay a little bit open to land and locate. It's a part of the nervous system that is called neuroception, that is scanning our environment to feel, are we safe? Do I feel unsafe? And when your nervous system hears that you're in a locked, secure, safe space, it can release. And sometimes it takes a little bit for the nervous system to unwind, for the eyes to want to close. So give space with that. Give a compassionate, kind of caring heart to what is arriving with you today in your practice, through body, through mind, through breath. And this quality of release, this letting go that we spoke about, it couples with the exhale. So each time you exhale and the belly deflates and the diaphragm relax back up into that upward dome shape, there's a point where you can meet body and befriend body and let go into your support. And so that might be coupled with an exhale out the mouth, a pursed lip breath, a sigh. Feel yourself become heavy and move into oneness with the earth. The earth is stable, grounding, nurturing. And those of you that are on your side body, you're going to check in with yourself and feel, oh, yeah, I feel ready to transition to the other side, or you might want to hover for a few more breaths. Whenever you're ready, use the arms and the hands to press into the floor and come up, and then you can just turn to face away from the back of the bolster and then turn the legs to the other side and go into it. And if you're in a heart bed and your legs were extended, you might bend the knees, you might bring the feet into the soles of the feet touching into a butterfly position. There you go. And if you're in heart bed and you want a support under your legs, yeah, Gloria, do you want another bolster underneath your knees? Yeah, I think so, right? Mm-hmm. And Linda, do you want another one underneath your legs at all? Sometime. Yeah, it is a really nice, I'm just walking through the studio, just so you know. Yeah, good. And it's really nice and butterfly to have that. Yeah, have you tried that before? It is really nice. Yeah. It's great to release it. And it's nice where the body doesn't have to hold, right? It can offer the release without having a strain. Yeah. And we want to meet body and mind today in that place where we're offering space of nourishment and we're offering an honoring to what is arriving here. I'm going to create a little place of space for you to notice each time that invitation to become heavy on the exhalation. Allow yourself to open and expand with a gentle ease each time you inhale. Just one more minute here. Remember that you can come out early if you need to. You might even notice as we're pausing here, of bringing in that invitation if it feels right for you. Just asking yourself, is there something that you feel grateful for right now? It might be being in this class, it might be this pocket of time or space that you've created for yourself. It might be community, it might be feeling safe. You might have your own kind of moment of gratitude that flows in for you. So we're just going to create some space for you. Feel as you ask that question, what am I grateful for? You might even take on one of my suggestions. Taking in another few more rounds of breath here. Just noticing what this does for body and mind when you allow yourself to revel in a rest position. As we take a few more rounds of breath here, slowly starting to come up and out of our pose. So some of us are in butterfly with our legs. You slowly let them come together. Some of us have been in side lying. Some of us have been in heart bed. You're just going to take your time to lengthen and stretch and come out. And we're going to do a little practice. And some of you know this one, to just come into our fascia a tiny bit. Because our fascia holds experiences in our body and emotions in the body. So once you pull everything out of the way, you're going to lie back down and you're going to take the chip foam block and just place it under the hips. And sometimes the body goes, oh, I need a little bit more height. And you might even find, oh, what does it feel like to have the bolster under the pelvis? So my body is saying, hey, have a little bit more height. So some of you are going to like a little bit more height. Some of you are going to feel, oh, I want to have the bolster underneath and then maybe the chip foam block under the head. Or just the head on the floor. For me, it feels good to have the head on the floor. I'm going to stay on the bolster today, but you can be on the chip foam block, which is a little bit lower. And we're going to draw the legs in towards our chest with the knees bent. Yeah, beautiful. We're just going to start to circle here. So feeling the breath moving around the body, circling. So we're going to start to slowly allow energy to be built in the body while staying with earth support today. And when one direction feels like it's complete, you're going to roll around and go in the other direction. Hands can be on the back of the thighs or on the shins. And sometimes the hands just want to rest on the body or off to the side on the floor. And you feel the pelvis and the legs circling as one. And so when you're feeling like that is complete, you can allow the legs and the arms to extend up in the air. So we did this standing last week, this kind of shaking that we did that helps to release from the body. You can do a pursed lip breath. You can do the 2 inhales out the mouth. You can kind of flick energy off. You can take your hands and start at your heart and sweep across the chest, through the arms, out the arm, out the legs, and just notice, whew, what am I holding on to? Let the torso wiggle around a little bit. You might open and close the mouth, wiggle the jaw around a tiny bit. Okay, with the arms and the legs in the air, we're going to do a movement for the fascia in the whole body. So this is a rebalancing because the nervous system is embedded in all of our fascial connective tissue that allows us to be this beautiful web of support around all the muscles, connecting muscles to bone, and allowing all of our nerves and our arteries and our veins to flow through the fascia. And so we want to make sure that the fascia is kind of hydrated. And when we get stressed or we go into shutdown, the fascia starts to constrict around the nervous system. So when our arms and our legs are up in the air, I want you to bend the elbows and the knees as much as you need to feel quite relaxed, but consciously aware. Palms can face one another. And we're going to do a little bit of right brain, left brain here. So we're going to take right arm, right leg towards the head and the torso, and the left arm and the left leg towards the floor. And I want you to exhale, lift the pubic bone up, draw the lower belly in so you feel a little bit of core support, empowering. And then when you're ready, that left arm, left leg is going to come up towards the torso and the head, and the right arm and the right leg is going to release down. It doesn't have to touch the floor. Okay, and then you're going to switch. Inhale, exhale, draw that lower belly in and up, lifting the pubic bone up towards your abdomen, and just flowing with the arms, just creating movement, energy through the body. And sometimes the head wants to look from side to side. So when the right arm and the right leg comes up towards the torso and the head, you might turn your head towards your right arm. And as the right arm and the right leg move away, you might bring your head into center. And as the left arm, left leg comes up, you might turn your head to look towards the left and then scan across the ceiling and look to the right. So you're moving your head with this one. We're just starting to allow the eyes to softly scan. We did this last week, just bringing it into movement now. So each time one arm and one leg comes up, you can turn your head to look at that arm. And then as the arm and the leg move away, you can turn the head to look up and then to the other side. Just allow your arms to be soft. Beautiful. Nice work. And then when it feels complete, shake it out again. Okay, let your palms face one another. Touch each thumb and pad of the finger to one another. So this is a hand gesture. We're going to do a couple more today, hand mudra in yoga, where you touch all the pads of the fingers together and the palm of the hand is open. This one rebalances our whole energy body. It's called Hakini mudra. And you're going to bend the knees, bring the inner thighs towards one another, and we're going to open the arms and the legs out to the side. Good. And then you're going to bring the arms and the legs together. So you can decide, do I want to inhale when I open the arms and the legs and then exhale when I bring them together, or exhale when you open and inhale back together? Yeah. So just getting some energy moving through these nice movements, linear movements. And now we're doing an out and an in. Feel as you inhale and expand the body, and then exhale, gathering through the body. And do this as many times as you feel comfortable. Good. One or two or three more. Good. When it's done, you'll know we're all going to be at different rhythms. Let the knees come back into the chest. Good. Drawing them in, circling a little bit. And then allowing your feet to plant on the floor, still keeping the bolster of the block there. We're going to have our arms down by our side, palms down. Okay, and then you're going to check in. Is this enough height under the pelvis for those of you that have the chip foam block? If you do want to bring the bolster in, you can try it. We're going to just move a little bit of energy through our arm and our torso. So you're going to allow your chin to release a little bit towards your throat. It'll lengthen the back of the neck. If you're quite close to the wall above you, you are going to need to shimmy down a tiny bit so that you can inhale. I'll demonstrate what it looks like. Fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, arms overhead. Some of you are going to touch the floor. Some of you may not. Okay, then you're going to inhale, press the feet into the floor. Arms are going to come up, and then you're going to exhale back down. Okay, so this is our rhythm. Good, yeah, feet are hip width apart. Some of you have the 4-inch block under your pelvis, which also works. It's a little bit harder for the hips and the pelvis to receive. Okay, so you choose. If you want to be a little bit softer, the bolster has a little bit more softness on the back of the sacrum. So feet are hip width apart, chin's releasing down towards the throat a little bit. Reach a tiny bit up through the skull and the ears towards the wall behind you. Palms are down beside you. You're going to inhale, reaching the arms up, fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. Okay, don't worry about if you don't touch the floor. Root the feet into the floor. Inhale, reaching the arms back up, fingers point to the ceiling, and exhale back down. Okay, you're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, arms are going to come up, fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, overhead. Notice, do I need to widen my arms when I go overhead? Press the feet into the floor, gather the ribs together. Inhale, reaching the arms up, and then exhaling back down. Yeah, you got it. Just flow a couple more times using your breath, pressing and rooting your feet into the floor. Inhale, exhale, overhead, pressing the feet. Inhale, arms reach up, exhale, palms down by your legs and pelvis. You do as many rounds as you want. Some of you might even feel if your arms come overhead and it feels okay here, you might pause here if your arms do touch the floor. Another option is with the fingers pointing to the ceiling, you can bend the elbows and drop the elbows and the triceps, that's your upper arm, into the floor and rest here. Sometimes pressing the elbows and the triceps into the floor and the feet into the floor, you notice, oh, my pelvis becomes a little bit light up off the bolster or the block. Good. When you're ready, you're going to come up and down. Okay, press the feet into the floor, lifting the bolster and the block out, and then drawing the legs into the chest one more time. Going to circle here. Good. So just getting some energy moving. I'm going to go in both directions. Then we're going to roll over to one side and we're going to come up and do a little movement through the spine. So we're going to go into cat-cow. So some of us might feel that we need to support the knees or put a blanket underneath the knees. Okay, if you're thinking and body's going, I'm not feeling great in my knees today and I don't want to be in a hands and knees or elbows and knees position, you can do this from seated. Okay, so either you're here and you've got some support underneath the knees, or you're here, or you can sit cross-legged. Okay, so whichever one works for you. There you go. Good. Okay. So you're going to start in an exhalation, which is going to get into lengthening the upper part of the nerves in the ventral vagal, part of our nervous system. So you're going to push the floor away. If you're seated, your hands go towards your knees. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. The back is rounding up towards the ceiling. The head releases down. Then as you inhale, you start at the pelvis. Let the pelvis tilt towards the floor. Belly expands. Heart opens. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Very gently look forward. Try not to compress the back of the neck too much. Push the floor away, starting with the bowl of the pelvis, reaching down. The back is arching up through the lumbar, the middle spine, the upper spine, the head. Yeah, good. Yes. We flowed last week into doing a few movements and altered place of being here, of circling through the spine. So some of you might feel, oh, I really liked that circling, where you think of coming into the middle of your body and your central channel, and you allow the spine to draw a circle around. The other option is inhaling forward, exhaling back. Remember, you can be on your forearms if the wrists are not wanting you to be on them. You can also have the bolster here to create a little bit of height and softness. Go both directions in your circling. Pause when you're ready. Good. Want to give one more option, and it's a side linear stretch. So some of you might find this one quite nourishing. You're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to bring your right hip around to the right. And you're going to turn to look around towards your right side. So that means your right side of your body, we're getting into the right side of the digestive system, goes into a little bit of compression. Okay, then you inhale to center, and then you exhale and you bring your left hip, the left side of your body, looking around to your left side. A little compression through the left side of your digestive system. You can see, oh, how's that feeling? Inhale to center, exhaling, bringing the upper torso, the head, and the hip around to one side. Just focusing a little bit here on getting into the digestive system. Creating some energy and space for us to move up through the sympathetic into our ventral vagal. Good. And then when you're ready, you might pause, wanting to give an option here. If you feel okay sitting right back into child's pose, you can. You can also take your bolster and put it down in between the legs and lie down on it. If it's a little bit low, what you can do is you can take your block and you can lay it down. So when you come down, see how I'm wrapping my arms inside of the bolster? Quite nice. Yeah, do you see I had my block just turned up on its side, Mom? Yeah, there you go. And then you have that. Yeah, and some of you don't have to use the bolster, just giving you a couple options here today. Yes. Yes, I can totally do that for you, Deb. I so understand. I'm just walking across the studio. Where would you like it, Deb? On your lower back? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, just let me know. I'm placing it now. How does that feel? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Is that tricky on the knees for you? Hey, Shona? Yeah. Yeah. Notice if the arms want to reach to one side. So other option, Shona and Mum, that have knee stuff is you can take the bolster and put it here. I like that one. And you sit on it. And that feels really good. I can come and help with that one and put it behind you because it's really nice on creating that. Say again for me. Yes, of course. Yeah. And then if you sit up a tiny bit, I'll put the bolster behind. Have you done that version before? How does that feel? Yeah, your feet are tight. And you can go down into child's pose still with the forearms. You can go here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Yeah, so you just, I know it's tight. Come all the way up. Come all the way up. Okay, widen your feet a little bit more. There you go. Now sit back a tiny bit. Now go into child's pose instead of going sitting back. Yeah, just bring your forearms down to the floor. Yeah, it's tight, right? Yeah, some of us have really tight top of the feet. So just taking a little pause here. Maybe you've gone both sides. Yeah, just giving a couple options here. Good. Yeah. When you're ready, we are going to sit up and wanting to do a couple things around the eyes. So some of you are going to be like, I need to sit up and move back to the wall and use the wall. I put my bolster behind me. We've had it horizontal. We've also had it vertical. Some of us like to have the legs extended. Some of us like to cross the legs. I like to just turn my bolster. For me, it feels very nourishing to be horizontal. You can also take one of your blocks, and what I've done is just put the block on top. That's quite nice. Yeah, so feel free to use the desk. Yeah, good. That feels good, right? It's really nice. One of the things when we're sitting upright and we go into doing some breathing work, which we're going to do, or we go into pausing in a mindfulness part, is if the spine is not supported and the body does not feel contained and at ease, all your mind's going to be thinking about is, I feel really super uncomfortable here. Right? And it's so that way. So right now my knee's talking to me. So I'm going to have one leg in and one leg out for me because that's what's feeling really good for my leg. Sometimes you might go, oh, does it feel okay? Do I need to support the knee or the upper thigh or this leg? For me, it's this leg. Okay, so just take a moment to wiggle in. Yeah, get comfy. One of my teachers, she used to always say, think of like when a hen or a chicken, right? When they snuggle into their nest, right? They make sure and they take the time to build their nest. So they're super comfy, right? And so I always think about that when I'm going to go into a practice and I'm going to pause and I'm going to be here for a little bit of time. I want to make sure that I'm supporting myself in a way that my body can let go, because then you can start to feel the effects of the practice. So we're not only, as we spoke about last week, befriending the nervous system, but we need to befriend the body because the nervous system lives inside the body. Okay, so for me, I'm going to take my glasses off because we're going to do a little flow because we've been working on B breath. We've been working on the eyes a little bit. And so we're going to start with B breath. And so you can do B breath without the Shanmukha mudra, which allows our senses to go inward. And just a recap of that, we put our thumbs in our ears, okay, so which is connecting to the vagus nerve. And then the index finger on the eyebrow and the middle finger below the eye. And then the ring fingers around the edge of the mouth. You can do both hands. And the pinky is just touching around the chin. You can have your eyes closed here or softly open. And whenever you're ready, you're going to inhale through the nose and you're going to go into your humming. Go slow, let the rhythm permeate through the body. Notice the pauses in between the breath. You go for as many rounds as you want. Trying to keep the sound soft so it's a nourishing sound for you. So notice your level, notice your tone. And then whenever it feels complete, just pause and release. Whenever the body spontaneously releases a breath out the mouth, you always give space for anything that body or mind spontaneously invites in. Part of being aware of our nervous system is listening. Can we be open to listen to the insight that arrives from within? Take a few more moments of pause. And when you're ready, if your eyes have been closed, you're just going to slowly open them and you're going to check in with your legs. So for me, I've had one leg bent, so I'm just going to release that and just allow both legs to extend. So I'm in a wide angle, but you might feel that you want to come into a straight leg. And then just let the pelvis exhale come forward a tiny bit. And then just let your body round through the spine and just fold forward for a moment. If there's any strain on your lower back, just bend the knees. You can put a block underneath the legs, okay? If it's feeling more that you need to be here. Just taking a few breaths here. I'm going to release the neck a tiny bit by doing a yes motion with the head very softly up and down. And then a little bit from left to right. Nice, slowly rooting down through the pelvis, coming up into seated. So we're going to do a little twist now. And so you can check in, do I need to sit on a little bit of height? So sometimes sitting on this chip foam block is helpful. Sometimes I'll sit the buttocks on it and then just slide off so I feel my sit bones on the floor. Yeah, and I'm just extending. You can be extended straight on your mat, so your feet are on your mat. I'm just being here so that you can see me. We're going to allow our hands to come behind our right leg, and we're going to bend the right knee. And so the distance that your foot is from your pelvis is purely up to you. You're going to pick it up and cross it over. There you go. Yes. So your right leg is crossed over. Your left hand is going to hold your shin. Beautiful. Your right hand now is going to come behind you, and the fingers are a little bit tented, which means your thumb, your index, your middle, your ring, your pinky are pressing into the floor, and you're going to press down so you feel your torso lift up. Now, your tendency here is when you twist, which we're going to twist to the right, is you might start to lift up off of one sit bone, or you might just bring the twist into your eyes and your neck, because our neck has the biggest range of motion in axial rotation. Sometimes we over twist the neck, right? So here's an example. So when we go to twist, or we go to look at something and we go to look and we just bring the head and we don't bring the body with us, we start to strain the neck. Okay, so when you move, I want you to keep your chin in line with your heart, because your head is going to want to lead this movement. Okay, so as you root down, you're going to inhale, lengthen up. And as you exhale, very slowly feel this inner spiral from your pelvis is only going to move a little bit, then through your lower back, then start to open your heart. This is where you can get quite a bit of movement through your thoracic spine. And then keeping your chin in line with your heart. Gaze soft. Keep allowing your heart, your upper shoulders. And then very softly, if the head wants to move a little bit, do so and reach a little bit of energy up the ears and out the top of the head. There you go. Gaze can be straight ahead, sometimes a little bit down. Resist looking up. We're feeling that chest opening. A few more breaths here, lengthening up. And then we're going to slowly unravel that spiral, that inner spiral, come back to center. Release this top leg. Okay, shake it out. Okay, we're going to bring in the left leg. Cross it over. We're going to find one side is a little bit different than the other, right? So we might have one hip that feels, it's a little bit tighter. Okay, right hand holds left leg, left hand behind us, tenting the fingers, pressing down, seeing if you can lift up nice and tall. Okay, inhale. As you exhale, feel your belly draw in, let your belly turn around. It's only going to have a little bit of movement. Then you're going to feel the lower spine through the thoracic, the middle, the upper. Let your heart open. Let your shoulders, especially your right one, come around so you feel your upper back in between the shoulder blades. Across one shoulder blade, opening. Chin stays closer to the chest in line or a little bit past, but we're not overextending or we're not straining the eyes here. Very soft eye. Breath is full. You can feel your belly expanding against your left thigh. This is massaging our digestive organ, our dorsal vagal, the nerves off of the lower branch of the parasympathetic nervous system, off of the lower vagus nerve. Expanding, we feel that pressure of the belly against the thigh, and then that exhale is a release. When we create pressure, it's called a vagal push. It helps to release and calm the nervous system and bring us back up into our ventral. So as you inhale, feel if there's a little bit of internal pressure inside the belly, the leg, the abdomen, and then soften. You'll know when you're ready to come out. Good. Nice. Can you feel the torso opening, especially up in here? Because sometimes we want to turn so much with our neck and our head, and we leave the chest behind. So maybe over the next week, you can notice when you're starting to look at something, let your torso move and your head follows your torso instead of your head leading and straining in the neck. When we turn, especially a little bit around the neck, our top two, the skull and the C1, C2, 30% of the first part of the movement happens in our first and second cervical spine in the vertebra. So if we're always cranking the neck all the time, we're really straining that part of the neck. So just want to do a little lateral stretch. Legs can stay straight or you can cross them. Just want you to bring the hands behind. So I want you to do a very soft interlace. We're going to bring the eyes into this lateral stretch. Okay, so head is going to stay pressing into the hands. Hands are going to stay pressing into the head. Little hammock support, releasing the neck. Okay, when you inhale, exhale, I want you to bring your torso to the right. Okay, your gaze is still looking straight ahead. Good. Now I want you to just move the eyes to look up towards your left arm, left elbow, and just hold it there, not moving the head, just the eyes. Soften them. Breathe. We did this one on the floor last week. When you feel a yawn or something coming in, you come back to release. Hey, you can relax in between. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, exhale, come to the other side. Just your eyes looking up to your right elbow. Okay, if it's too much to have both, just release one arm. Just have your right hand there. Let your left arm come down to the floor. Yeah, there we go. Some of us have shoulder injuries. Okay, and then you're going to come back up. Beautiful. You're going to get off a cross-legged position. We're going to do a little bit more of a flow. We're going into downward dog. So I'm giving a couple different things of when we go into downward dog. We are going to be moving into where we'll need our blocks and we'll need the chip foam block and these 4-inch blocks. And some of you can do downward dog just with your hands spread on the floor. Okay, a little bit farther forward in front of the shoulders, the toes tucking under, and inhale, exhale, pushing the floor away, okay, and lengthening up and back. Okay, the other way I was exploring, because I was talking a little bit about kind of creating some ease and exploring different ways of doing downward dog, is some of you can have your blocks flat on your mat and you can hold the blocks. Sometimes people find comfortable just letting the fingers go over, and then you can feel, what does this feel like if I just press down and I let the knees come up? Do I feel safe? Okay, so you can test it. Try, what does it feel like to go up into downward dog, pressing through the blocks? This was one I thought for you, Gloria. So widening the blocks a tiny bit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So either you're in downward dog with the hands the width of the mat, or your hands are on the block. And you can walk it out. You can lift one leg up if you want to be a little bit more dynamic. Okay, and I see what's happening a tiny bit. If you walk your feet a little bit towards, does that help towards your elbows? Or is it better back? Yeah, back. Okay. It's the transverse arch, right? Okay. Okay. So when you're there, does it help to put the top of the foot on the mat at all? Yeah. I wonder if you did it on the chip bone block. And Lindo, how can I support you in this one? Okay, yeah, okay. Don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. What you can do downward dog standing. Okay, so you can stand, you can face your hands at the wall. You do the height of the front of the hips. And you could try this one too, Gloria, if it feels better. So I'm just doing an alteration of downward dog. Your hands go towards the wall. Good. You're going to step back one foot, the other foot, feet are under the pelvis, and you're in a flat back here. Yeah, and your head, heart, hips are all in one line. So not too far back. Bring your feet so they're under your pelvis. There you go. And let your torso come all the way down. Let your gaze come down towards the floor. Yeah, bring your head. If you can, is it okay to drop it even so that you're just looking down? Okay, try it, because you're still in one line, like you're in a flat back. Good, Gloria. I'm going to just be right beside you. Can I touch your elbows? Yeah, I want you to lengthen. Push the wall away. Yes, lengthen. There you go. Yes, there you go. You can keep the hands, but you eventually want to lengthen your elbows. See this? See how your elbows are bent? Can you straighten your elbows? Yeah, good. There you go, Mom. Nice. And then when you're ready to come out, all you're doing is walking your feet towards the wall, walking your hands up the wall. Yeah. It's a great stretch, right? And so, yeah, have you done that one? It's been a while, right? So let's just come up. Let's all try downward dog at the wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the heel of the hand. What you do is you find the front of your, what we call the ASIS. It's a really short name for the front of your ilium. It's your anterior superior iliac spine. And you put your hands right at that level. So your fingers are pointing towards the wall. That's the height as they come away that your hands touch the wall. Yeah. And then as you walk away, your feet walk below your hips. They're hip width apart. You push the wall away. You're trying to get straight arms. You're lengthening the head towards the top of the head, towards the wall, reaching your pelvis back and the sit bones, gathering your ribs up into the body. Beautiful. I'm just going to come out, but you stay there. Nice. Good. Good. Marina, you could walk your feet a tiny bit towards the wall. There's feet under the pelvis for you. Feel the difference of that? Yep. Yeah, good. And when you're ready, you're going to walk feet towards the wall. Hands go up the wall. Yeah. Okay, so that's, yeah, it's a little bit, right? Because you are doing a hyperextension there. So for you, you might even feel this might be better. Doing tented fingers, Gloria. Yeah, and push the wall away with tented fingers. That feels better for you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. So we're going to come back because we're not going to do too much standing today, but some of you can just do a little bit of circling. So I wanted to do a little flow on the floor. So we're just going to come down as we exhale and come down to the floor. And if you have a knee concern, which some of us do, and I'm just going to use it anyway, is your right knee shin can be on the chip foam block. Your blocks are going to be a little bit higher, what we would call on the highest height. And then you're going to step this left foot forward. Okay, so both of your blocks are at the top of the mat if you're using them. Yeah, good. Now you want to square the hips because sometimes your left hip, you can feel it jumping forward. So you want to pull the left hip back so you feel your hips, yeah, shining straight ahead. Good. And then just allow, as you lift the pubic bone up, let your pelvis come forward a little bit. It's going to release your quad and your thigh and your hips. Yes. Nice. Are you okay? You got it? Yeah. There you go, Marianne. Yes. Breathe. Relax your face. Yeah. And now we're going to come back. And you're going to come back and you might go, oh, I need to walk these blocks back a little bit. And then maybe you stay here. Some of you can flip the foot up. Okay, so I'll just move my blocks out of the way so you can feel it. And this is a leg stretch. Yeah, can you feel this in your hamstrings? Yes. And then when you're ready, you can come forward. So you can inhale, exhale. Feel this for a few breaths. And it's okay for the knee to go past the ankle. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, sink back. Maybe the foot comes up, the torso comes down. You got it. Yes, there you go. Pointing the toe up towards the ceiling. Yeah. Coming forward, inhale, exhale. Great job, you guys. This is really nice. If the blocks are too high, I see some of you, this is the middle height. Okay. And this is the lowest. Coming back and forth. Just go into your flow. Inhale, exhale. Yeah, inhale, exhale. Open the chest, open the heart. Good, just flowing back and forth. And then you'll know, I feel complete. So I just want to come down. Some of you might come down into just seated. Some of you might widen the knees for a minute. You might shake out the wrists a tiny bit. Okay, and then you're going to do other side. No rush in setting up. So that means left knee shin is going to go on a block. The right foot steps forward. Yes. You can kind of wiggle it forward because sometimes one foot has an easier time. Yeah, there we go. Now check, is my right hip lifting up and kind of shifting forward? Can you pull your right hip back so you feel your pelvis square straight ahead towards the short end of your mat? Exhale, lift up your pubic bone. So the pubic bone's in the front of the pelvis. Lift it up to the belly button. It will help to support your lower back. If you feel okay, let the pelvis come forward. Okay, then you can inhale, exhale, shift back with the pelvis. Maybe the toes come up and you press through the heel. This is a hamstring stretch. Yes. That, and then you're going to come forward. So you flow. Inhale, exhale, find your breath. Move back and forth. Good. You're doing hips, you're doing hamstring, yeah, you're doing psoas. There's a lot going on in this one. Where are you feeling it, Shona? Yeah, you try pulling up. I'm just going to come out. You keep going. Try lifting your pubic bone up a little bit more. Yeah, and the pelvis is what leads you to go forward and back, right? So the pelvis comes forward. Yes. Then the pelvis goes back. Yeah, move from your pelvis rather than your knee. I know, it's tricky, right? You've got it though. You're doing it right now. Yeah, just don't go too far in your range of motion, right? Just find a smaller range of motion, because I think what's happened is you're used to moving from your knee joint rather than your pelvis, and your pelvis should be moving you back and forth. Yeah. So the pelvis goes forward, then the pelvis goes back, right? Then it goes forward. You come out when you're ready. You can even just come in seated. You can lie back. That's where we're going. Okay, onto your back when you're ready. Good. Some of you might just want to go into child's pose for a moment. Some of you might go, nope, want to come off my knees, want to whirl around, roll onto my back, come down. Okay, we're going to do a little release of the hands, the wrists. Once you come down onto your back, you can, couple arm movements. You can wrap the arms in front of the chest. You can have your arms out to the side, palms up. You can put a block or something behind the head. You can open and close your hands a couple times. Beautiful. Yeah, shake them out. Yeah, those of you that have crossed the arms, you can cross the arm over the other way, and I'll show it on camera. It's a really beautiful way to open the back door of the heart, which we got in touch with last week. So you have one arm in the front and one arm behind, and then you inhale and you open up, and then you cross it over on the other side. And so for some of us, this is going to feel good for us, and some of us it doesn't. So just note arms out to the side, palms up is another option. Good. Noticing how you feel. So we did quite a few flows today to increase the energy. Just going to take a minute of pause. Yeah. We're going to do a little bit of release with the ball to release the neck, the jaw, okay, the chest, the hands. So I'm going to be seated just so you can see me or hear me, or I can stand so it's easeful. But just wondering, does everyone have a ball? Whether it's a little squash one or a pink one? If you want a squash one, let me know. Did you want to try a squash one, Susan? Yeah, perfect. I've got the little basket so I can come around and then you can just, yeah, grab one. Marianne, Mom, do you have a squash one? Yeah, you do. That's okay. It'll show back up. It's all good. Hey, we got one. We got one. Did you want to try a squash one too? Yeah, they're kind of fun. Yeah, they're little squash balls. And so you can be seated with me or you can stay on your back. But what you're going to do is just put the ball in between the palm of your hands and you're going to just roll it. So you can do this from lying down too. You can be just lying down and you can be just rolling the ball in between the hands. So it would look something like this if you were lying down. Sometimes if you need, you can put a little support underneath the elbows. So for me, it might be putting a block, right? So you can feel both shoulders are supported. Okay, so you're going to roll across under the fingers, all through the thumb side of the hand, heel of the hand. And then check in. How's it feeling? Okay, so if you're lying on the ground, one forearm goes across your body and you can roll your hand across that forearm. If you're seated with me, it can look something like this as well. You can come down and you can let the hands slide across the floor. I want to get back so that it can come onto the camera. You can even use that bolster that we did earlier and roll the palm of the hand here. So tendency when you roll the forearm is you start to lift the fingers away from the floor, right? And this is all flowing up into the ventral part of our nervous system. So how much tension we have here right, is going to release up in here. You can also roll through the upper arm. And then when you're ready, you can have even yourself on your side body and you can roll through the top of the shoulders. So I've got the ball on my shoulders. You can very softly roll through the sides of the neck. Just know that you have all your brachial plexus nerves here and your vagus nerves. So you're just going to go very gentle. It's about 20 or 30%. And you can also, I did sanitize the balls, massage if you choose your jaw, which is so lovely. Other place is the heart and the chest. So these are all parts of the ventral vagal nervous system that we're getting into. The pack gets really tight for some of us. I left a couple balls in the center of the room, 2 black ones too. And so this one's coming in. And if you only have 1 pink ball and you want to try it, I can bring the pink balls around, but you would want to have 2 pink balls, or you can grab 2 of the balls that are taped together. And you can put the 2 balls under the trapezius muscle. And you check in, do I need any support behind my head? For me, I don't, but you might. And then you can just start to walk the balls down. And sometimes if I want a little bit more pressure, I'll put a little bit of height under my hips, and then you can move the arms around. So Shona, this one I feel has your name written all over it. I'm gonna roll you a couple balls. Okay, great. Yes, ready? Here we go. Woo, and it was too long. Sorry, that was too hard. I'm gonna do another one. Oh, don't ask me to be on your team. On maybe a different day when we haven't gone through the... Okay, great. Do you need another one, Shona? Oh, you know what? I'll grab another one for you. Okay, you got it? Okay. So you're gonna lie down, you're gonna put it under the top of the shoulders. I'm gonna be right here with you. Yeah. Yeah. Top of the trapezius muscle. There you go. And you can tuck it down as far as you want. You can have your knees bent, which I would advise. Yeah, if you can, well, just pull that out because I'm going to give you a different support underneath your hips. Okay, then you can lift your pelvis up and pop this under the hips. See how it brings a little. If it's too much, then you're going to take it out. No, this is good. Okay. So when you put that support underneath the hips, yeah, you got it. And then you can, let me just see. Yeah. 1, yeah. There you go, Marianne. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Okay. And you can even put the chip foam block, the black one, if you lift your hips up a little bit. Yeah. And then you put your head on the floor. See how it angles some weight into the blocks? Then the arms can come up in the air if you have the balls, and you can just move them around. You can grab one hand to grab opposite elbow. So that would mean right hand would grab left elbow. And you can move it around. You can reach the arms up and down. You can swing from left to right. Another option that I've done before, which is really beautiful, is you might think, oh, remember that bridge flow we did where the arms came up overhead and back down? You might even feel, oh, what does it feel like if I just bring my right arm up and down? And then when my right arm comes down, I bring my left arm up. Holding the basket arm with the hands holding opposite elbow is going to be a little bit of a softer lever. Yes, good. You might even circle here. Yeah, a couple people are wrapping the arms around and going in that crossing over the heart. And then you can also, if you have a little bit of height under the pelvis, that will increase the little bit more pressure into the balls. Okay, you can always press your feet towards your hips and it will slide you up your mat and it will slide the balls down your spine on either side of the spine on the muscles. Does that make sense? Gloria, you okay? Okay, I saw a little facial. I was wanting to check to make sure. It was a yawn. Okay, perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. There you go. Yes. Do you ever do this one, Shona, at home? Yeah. Yeah, right. So sometimes when you're going down, it's really nice to have two balls that are separate because sometimes one ball can be up a little bit, one ball can be down a little bit. Hey, this is a really good time to let a breath out the mouth. A sigh, a sound, a pursed lip breath. Yeah, there you go, Marianne. You feeling something in your shoulders, yeah? Yeah, you got something there. Nice. Sometimes the body just wants you to lie and rest in one position, is what we call a compression. And when you lie and you just allow that compression to come in, it's like you receive the ball into the body. And then there's a quality of you releasing, releasing, releasing. Okay, so we're just going to give space here for another few minutes. If you're done and you feel that you want to put your legs up the wall, or you want to go back into a heart bed, or there's another pose that is nourishing for you, feel free to go into it and move into your Shavasana a little bit earlier. If you want a little bit of weight on your body and you want me to put a sandbag on, feel free. But if you're enjoying this ball release, stay here for another 2 to 4 to 5 minutes. It is a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. It's better, right? It's different. And it shows you, hey, I'm holding a little bit in my body. Yeah. Especially if it feels like, your body's like, oh, that's quite strong. Then, each time you do it, you get a little bit more relaxed. And you get a little bit more relaxed, right? Yeah. Yeah. And feel free if the slow-mo ball is coming underneath you at any time. And we're just moving into either resting on the balls or feeling if we want to pause in a pose to just integrate. Yeah. Some of us here in the studio have grabbed a slow-mo ball. And some of you might put it on and underneath the body. Yeah, and some of you are rolling through other parts of the body. Once you come in your place of integration, I want you to notice if you've allowed your body to take up space. So we had grabbed a few extra props, but sometimes when the arms are really close to the body, it inhibits the heart and the chest from opening. So I invite you to move your props out of the way. Don't allow the props to dictate your opening of space. Allow the autonomy of your practice to be coming from your inside, and move the props away so your arms can move away from your body if they choose, and express so that the heart, the chest can all open here. There you go. Good. Yeah. Beautiful. And some of us are going up with legs up the wall. Yeah. Some of us are putting on an extra layer, a blanket. Yeah. And you know what? If you want, if you go up without the bolster, I can come in after and put it in for you, and it'll allow you to be a little bit closer. So remember, if you go up into it and you sit as close as you can, and then you lie back first, and then you turn. It'll keep your hips really close to the wall, and then it's a little bit easier for you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you see how it just snugs you, and then you don't have to do that. It's like an uncomfortable inchworm, and then you can just pause here and notice, is this an okay place? Yeah, I was actually just feeling that. You have a blanket. Can I offer you something with your blanket if you don't mind? Did you want anything under your head, or are you okay? Maybe the foam block. Okay, it's right there for you. I'm going to do what is called the leg swaddle. Okay, so I've just got a blanket. It's going to go around your feet. So you're going to bring your legs together. Yeah, and they can go at the wall. It's going to go across. Now you're going to bend your knees and you're going to grab the blanket in between the legs. And you're going to grab it from the yeah, 1, 2, pull and start to straighten your legs up. There you go. Pull, pull, pull. There you are. This is called what we call a leg swaddle. Yeah, I know, right? Couple more rounds of breath. You're just going to hear a door open. And you're going to hear a door close. Feel the exhalation out your mouth. Maybe a pursed lip breath. And as you are here, let go into the support of the earth. And just feel the effects of the practice. Notice this honoring we did of the body and the nervous system today. So we allow the senses to hear any sounds within the room. Noticing a few sounds trickling outside of the room. Allowing space for the sounds outside of the room to be present as we sense the studio sounds, the sounds of our own breath, the feeling of our body heavy on the floor with support, blankets, weight. Some of us have our legs up the wall. The rhythm of your breath. So you feel both nostrils breathing here. Feeling the right side of your body, the right nostril. This right side of our body and our right nostril, which we'll expand on next week, is connected more to energy, the sun, giving us invigoration and empowerment. Sometimes even just bringing the mind over and asking mind and body to focus on right side, right nostril. If we're feeling cool, we can warm ourselves up by breathing into this Surya. The sun is called Surya in Sanskrit. The sun channel of our body, regulated through right side, right nostril. Let your right leg, your knee, your pelvis, your right rib cage, the right side of your shoulder blade, your right arm, elbow, wrist, hand, the right side of your skull, all let go. And bringing that mindful awareness over to the left side of the body, the left nostril, left side of body, left nostril. Using the power of intention here. That left side is connected to the moon. It's this place where we rejuvenate, where we nourish. It's also the cooling channel. And when we move through feeling both sides and resonating on each side, we bring a balance between the hot and cold in our body. Just resting in left nostril, left side of body, left foot, left leg, left pelvis as we rotate consciousness through the body. Letting go through left side of the rib cage, left shoulder, upper arm, elbow, lower arm, wrist, hand, left side of the skull. Our left nostril is also connected to our parasympathetic nervous system, our vagus nerve, both branches. And our right nostril is connected to our sympathetic nervous system. So we have times throughout the day that one nostril is opening and breathing a little bit more for us than the other nostril. Sometimes if we wake up or we're in that startle, we can activate both nostrils to balance the sympathetic and parasympathetic by doing that 2 inhales, slow exhale through a pursed lip. Sometimes if you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to bring in the lunar cycle, the parasympathetic nervous system, you can roll on your right side and have the left nostril facing upward. Sometimes throughout the day, we need to bring in more energy, so we can roll on left side and have the right nostril open and spacious and bring in energy through the right nostril of our sympathetic. So I want you just to come back now and feel both nostrils. Feel your whole body. Feel your whole body, feeling the wholeness of who you are. I'm going to end our practice with a poem. This one's called, it's an excerpt from one of John O'Donohue's books, and it's called For One Who Is Exhausted. And sometimes when we go into our dorsal part of our nervous system, we do come into this rest and we do need to nourish. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back, to take refuge in your senses. You open up to all the small miracles that you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that foster the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Some of you have been with your legs up the wall for a while. Remember, you can always start the transition now as we take another minute here, and you might bend the knees, unswaddle. You might even take some time and go, I want to just roll over into a fetal position on one side. And maybe noticing which nostril is upward. Is it your left, your calming, your nourishing side? Or if you're needing a little bit more energy today, maybe you roll on your left side and have your right nostril up, bringing in that sun energy, that warming energy, giving you energy in body and mind. Okay, so just noticing which way you're rolling, to the right or the left, and hover and fetal for a moment. Whatever nostril is on the top is the one that you're going to be tapping into, that part of your nervous system, and bringing in energy. Ah, and you'll know when it feels right for you to roll over and complete that ascent up with the top arm pressing into the floor and coming up to a seated. Remember, you can be back towards the wall. You can cross the legs. Whatever you feel works for you. We've been ending this class by giving ourselves a hug, which is really nourishing for the nervous system. So we're just going to bring our arms out, opening up, and you just let your arms, your shoulders determine how far back you want to go. Inhale, and then just exhale, giving yourself a hug. Sometimes you'll be in stillness. My body, when I give myself a hug, likes to just circle around a little bit. Do what feels good for you. Just offering this hug, this nourishing to yourself. It's a way of allowing your nervous system to feel safe. Okay, whenever you're ready, you're going to take note which arm is on top. And then you're going to open it up again. And then you're going to bring that other arm on top and give yourself a hug a second time. Sometimes the body just wants to sway. Sometimes you just want to hold. And you'll reach the arms out and let them release.